Hey guys, welcome to week 4 of Space Demon Combat Tactics development updates. This week was a big one. So just a quick refresher, the engine I'm using to make this game is called Unity. It's a really good engine, and I'm amazed at how accessible it makes game development to people like me. This week though, I did run into some technical difficulty. In Unity there's the concept of a render pipeline. There are a few flavors of that. And this week, I had to switch from one render pipeline to another one, which was kind of a big task. But I think that it all paid off. So without further ado, let's go through the changes that we made this week. Change number 1. The camera has changed from an orthogonal view to a perspective view. This was not an artistic choice. I did it because it made it easier for me to display the UI on the screen. And I may eventually go back to an orthogonal camera at some point, but it was just the easy thing for me to do at the time. The next change we made was the pause menu. Now we have tabs, so we're in the controls tab right now, and you can see that there's nothing here but controls. And then we have the audio tab, which has the things we talked about last week with the gun volume, footsteps volume, speech volume, and the UI volume I said I would get to. So now we have that as well. There are a few more tabs, and they are currently disabled. The next change we have is we can now cycle through soldiers and center camera on soldier. Okay, so if I hit tab, good. The first guy is selected. If I hit tab again, next guy. And we go back and forth. And if I have a guy selected and I move away and then I hit enter, good. I'm pretty much centered on him. Well, I'm supposed to be. It's close enough, right? Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Well, maybe we can fine-tune that centering sometime, but I think it's okay for now. Also, better outlines. Look at this outline. A lot better now than it was before. Yeah, I decided to just go ahead and buy a solution that someone else wrote in order to make it look good. Which, it was only $10, and I really think it looks nice. This is the look I wanted to begin with, but I didn't know how to write myself. But anyway, looks good now. Another change we made this week was the UI sounds are less noisy and simpler. So let me just stop talking so you can hear it. Disabled sound. Yep, so I think it sounds more minimalistic and simpler, and yeah, I like it better. The next thing you probably noticed when I was selecting the soldiers is their speech on the radio is way more distorted. Yeah, I kind of prefer that. That was an artistic choice. I think it just makes it sound grittier. I don't know why. But yeah, like that a lot better. Next change we made was we got rid of the tooltips. So I'll just demonstrate again. See how there's no tooltips popping up that tell you what these buttons do? Yeah, I felt like that was overkill. Games tend to not have that, you know? You kind of just learn what the buttons are by clicking them. No need to say what they do. It's good enough. So the next change was how we fade in and fade out the panels. So if I click on this, that's a bad example. Let me click on another one. Yeah, this one's better. So it's kind of got a fade in effect and a glitch effect going on. I think it looks nicer, a little more interesting to watch, you know, a little more, what's the word, techy, cybery, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for. And we can see his health, how fast he moves, his current posture, his current elevation, and how many enemies he's protected against, which there are currently no enemies, so 0 out of 0. And then we can see how much damage his gun does, how accurate his gun is, how many shots per second it does, how long it takes to reload, how much ammo it's got. And then this last one is like the weapon spread, which basically means if the weapon is going to miss, how much is it going to miss by? So this number here is kind of magical. It probably has something that, how do I explain it? It's basically the magnitude of the angle that the bullet will go off course. But 0.2, like, what does that mean? Maybe I'll try to figure out a better way to represent that. But, yeah, for now, that's what we got. And you can see different gun stats for different guns. So, anyway, good stuff. And the next change is bullets are hit scan again. So let me just pause the game really quick. Shrink this down. Go into the world. Soldiers. Enable the enemy soldiers. Okay, so there they are. And then we can start playing again. And I disabled their AI, so they're not going to do anything. I just want to demonstrate how the bullets look. So we'll have us fire at that guy. Yeah. Okay. See, that was hit scan. And we have a nice little laser effect too that kind of shows what the bullets are doing. Yep. Yeah, the reason for making the bullets hit scan was it makes dealing with time easier. See, if I make them hit scan, then I don't have to consider how to handle the bullets that are mid-flight when the turn ends, right? So, like, when you're in the planning phase, nothing in the game world is happening. If there were bullets in midair, I would have to figure out what to do with them. And, I think eventually I'll have to deal with that kind of problem further along in development, but I'm okay with delaying that problem for now. Anyway, long story short, bullets are hit scan again. And then finally, the biggest change of the week is Fog of War. So yeah, let's demonstrate moving through the fog. Oh! I thought I disabled the AI. Well, anyway, he ran off into the fog, so that's actually a good demonstration of the fog. And now we can see this next enemy, and he was just revealed from the fog. So I think he's going to try to get us. So I'll move both of these guys, because he can only shoot one of us, right? So let's see what happens. Okay, yeah. See how that fog is clearing up? That I bought a pre-written solution for Fog of War, which I just think looks absolutely amazing. I tried to write it myself. I kept running into trouble, so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna take the plunge. I'm just gonna buy this $25 asset, and yeah, looks really good. And then, you know, we still have the concept of explored but not currently visible, which this area back here represents. It's grayed out, so if there were any enemies there, we wouldn't be able to see them. Let's see if I can demonstrate that with these enemies. Let me just disable their orders really quick so that they don't shoot us. Okay, and we'll run off. Oh. Well, looks like he's still visible through the fog. I'll have to fix that. But anyway, it's definitely a doable thing. I'll come back to that sometime in the coming week. Anyway, so while I am thanking the Fog of War guy for making his Fog of War asset, let me just thank everyone really quick. So Fog of War was written by BrendanL.K. The outline solution I have was written by Knife Entertainment. I have something called shader control, which was written by Kronnect. The Sci-Fi portraits, that was done by Rexard. Some of the Sci-Fi icons I have were written by Vessoaran, and these are the icons, just a few of them. The Polygon Sci-Fi models come from Synty Studios, which you get so much stuff. Everything I have here is all from just one pack, and there's so much more. So that's a really good deal. The save game, the way I'm saving the controls and will eventually save the game state, was written by Bayat Games, B-A-Y-A-T. Some more vector icons come from Ruslan, Kudriachenko. The soldier voice, which I distorted and modified, was done by DATVOICE, D-A-T voice. The Sci-Fi sound pack that's got the gun sounds was done by Cafofo. The futuristic UI was done by Unlimited Games. And I'm definitely not using it to full effect. This could look a lot better. I keep improving it every week. I'll keep trying to improve it. The Sprite shaders was written by SeasSide Studios. So one example of the Sprite shader is this hologram and glitch effect. Looks really great. The SeasSide Studios, they're amazing at getting in touch with you and helping you solve any problems. The LeanTween library that I'm using to fade in and out, that comes from Dented Pixel. And some more vector icons come from Poneti. And of course, thanks to the Unity Engine people, that goes without saying. So anyway, that's all the changes for this week. Thanks for tuning in for another week of Space Demon Combat Tactics development updates, and we'll see you next week. All right, peace.